Hello everyone. This is Hemangiri signing in from SQL Server Citation. I am SQL Server expert and I am Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award winner for 5 years. I have total 23 years of experience in which 21 years as a database administrator. I am a speaker to the local user group and events worldwide. I am mentoring junior DBS for uh, for the sake of sharing the knowledge I have. I also blog regularly on SQL Server Citation, that is my site. Please check in. In this video, I'm trying to give you details and information about few common mistakes that I have seen people are doing, keep on doing on on when they use the SQL Server. These mistakes, as I mentioned, are so common that we overlook at it when we design our system, when we design the database system or the applications. So this will be a series of video where I will be speaking and explaining about each of these common mistakes that I have found. In this video, I will be speaking about the basic one, the first one that I have seen most of the time. And as I mentioned, these are very common and very basic mistakes. Okay, let's see. At the end of this session, you will learn to avoid one of the common mistakes done while working with Microsoft SQL Server, and this will help your SQL Server work more efficiently for you and your organization. Let's see what this common mistake is. The very first mistake that I have seen people doing is using the incorrect or inappropriate data type. Let's talk about the one of the most used data type that is used to store the characters, the strings, right? Um, it is varchar and varchar, right? So there are some key differences between both of these. The first one is, see, varchar is a variable length data type. It is used to store non-Unicode characters, whereas nvarchar is variable length data type and it is used to store both Unicode and non-Unicode characters, such as Japanese language, Korean, and Chinese. Well, varchar can store maximum length of 8,000 characters, whereas nvarchar can store up to 4,000 characters. Character size, so for example, if you insert one character with the varchar data type, it will takes up 1 byte per character. And if it is n varchar, it will takes up 2 bytes per Unicode or non-Unicode character. The next difference is the storage size, right? So varchar stores actual length in byte, that means one character, 1 byte. But nvarchar takes 2 times of actual length in bytes. So for example, if you insert a character B, it will takes up 2 bytes, right? So almost double the, not almost, actually double the size of the value or the character inserted. So usage for varchar and varchar when it is to be used or when it is used. Used when the data length is variable or variable length columns and if actual data is always way less than the capacity. So say for example, let's consider an example of a column address or name or surname, right? here we do not know the exact length or size of the first name, last name, or surname or address field, right? Here we should be using the variable length data type. But which one, right? Is it varchar or nvarchar? So the first difference that we are seeing here in this particular slide says when you have to use both Unicode and non-Unicode characters, such as Japanese, Korean. So that means if you have to use the non-Unicode characters and Unicode characters, that time you have to use nvarchar. Otherwise, if it is only non-Unicode characters, use the varchar. Right? Okay. Um let's see um, this thing with an example. Let me pull up the SQL Server Management Studio. Let me do the cleanup here. This particular script is a demonstration, a small demonstration of the data type of varchar and varchar and the size it occupies against the characters inserted. Let's run the script and create the database, a demo database, a very small database, and let's create one table here. Now this table, as you can see, right, it has only two fields. First name, which is of varchar, and the size of the data database or the length of the data database 12. The next column is last name and it is of n varchar. Again, the size is same 12. Right? So let me create this table. Now I will insert about 4 records into this table. Records are inserted. Now let's see the length and size of records for column first name and last name. So it will be very much easier for you to understand and for me to explain. So the first result set is talking about the size and length of the records in the column first name. So as you can see here, the first name Hemangiri has 10 characters and the size occupied is 10 bytes. Right? So it is equals the or the exact uh, size of the characters inserted. While the second set of the output is about nvarchar data type. Now you see that the size of this data type are same 12 characters, 12 characters. Now the first record here says surname is or the last name is Goswami and it has 7 characters and the size it has occupied is 14. That means doubles, right? For the next record, the number of characters are 5. The size occupied is 10. Again, double. Right. So this is very small example to give you a detail or the explanation. But let's consider a situation that the database that you have designed or the application that you are designing or have developed has it is a nature in nature of transactional or write intensive and there are a few tables which has number of columns like this where you have to probably use varchar but instead the designer or the developer has used n varchar. That is where the chaos will happen. Say for example, um, let me give you a an example, rather, I would consider it as a story. So back in 2007, when I was working with one of the best MNCs of that time in India, I was working in Pune. One fine day, my manager asked me to join a call. It was a technical call where client was trying to push our company and development team very hard. Uh, so the issue was like that when the application was designed, there was some estimation made about. There are many estimations were made, but for database that they have expected that database would grow about 100 or 200 GB in some about 5 or 6 months. But what they have seen is that this particular database that they have on their system has grown to 1 terabyte and some gigs. Surprisingly, the not actually I would say surprisingly, but for me, for client, it was surprising that one of the table is uh, has grown to about 600 gigs in size. That single table alone, right? Now you would wonder what is so wrong with that, right? But that particular table has only 10 lakhs of record, not more, right? So now again, the question here is why it would take about 600 gigs when the table is small, number of records are not that large. So what was the when I investigated further, I found that there are a few design issue with the table. So I have suggested them some changes. Application team has to rewrite some code, but finally it was all good, right? Uh, that particular tip or that particular suggestion, I will be showing in you some in two or second or third tip incoming upcoming videos. Right? But let's wrap this up. So the thing here is, if you have a table designed like this where the incorrect data type has been chosen, the amplification or the when the table grows exponentially or it has millions or trillions of records, and this particular kind of case where the data type has to be varchar but you choose the application team has choose and varchar, it can go very wrong. It can create a chaos. Your estimation will certainly go wrong, and what what it ends up is losing reputation and the performance. It will be at stake. So please do remember, when you choose the data type at the time of designing your application, at the time of designing the database, choose the data type wisely. That is all for now. We'll see you in the next video. This is Hemant Giri signing off from SQL Server Citation. Thank you.